You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit.
What up, though? What up, though? This is Detroit Mail, another no-name podcast. As you can see from the title, I watched the Bye Bye Barry documentary, because I heard everybody talking about, you gotta watch it. So I finally broke down and watched it, and it gave me PTSD. And I'm trying to make this a long video because a lot of thoughts was going through my mind. Even you look at today's game against the Saints, last Thanksgiving game against the Packers, and the game before that against the Bears, it's just eerily similar, not as an apples to apples comparing the seasons, putting them together and comparing them together, apples to apples, but some of the themes seem eerily the same. That 91 year when everybody was thinking the Lions was gonna be their year. They're gonna do it this year. Haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, and get to the playoffs, and they beat Dallas decisively. And what's interesting, because I think Barry mentioned it too, is that both teams were coming up. This is Dallas was coming up. That's when you got the Aikman and the Irving and Emmett. And you think, okay, we both teams are in the NFC, so there's gonna be a battle between Barry and Emmett, going back and forth, see each other in the playoffs back and forth. So you think that's what it's gonna be. I mean, great storyline. Great storyline. Would have worked out that way. Great storyline. Two of the great prolific running backs in history. In history. And so you see they get there, they beat Dallas, go to the next round, face Washington, and get their socks blown off. And then you rewind it to now. And they go 0-6 last year, and they come on towards the end of the year, and it just barely missed the playoffs. But the following year, let me say the offseason first. The offseason, all you hear is about the Detroit Lions team scary. The Detroit Lions team is gonna be great. The Detroit Lions team is gonna do things. They're gonna go far. And then you go fast forward even further down to the draft, and now here the draft come. You got a few critics about where they picked and selected certain players, but overall, you kind of heard people say, "Oh, this draft looked great." I mean, Gibbs is a player, and they got Brian Branch, and they got so and so forth. Some question marks. Don't get me wrong, but overall, it was looked at with this draft and what they did last year. It's going to be a great year, and it started off great. Was the first 5 games 5-0? Was it the first 5? No, don't take that back. What I was saying. They lost to Seattle. Then they went on a nice little run to hit Baltimore, and then came back against the Raiders and kind of won, and then Chicago happened. And you looking like, what is going on? And then you come back on that, and then Green Bay happened. And now it's like, oh man, what's going on? Now you look at today's game with the Saints. You go up 21 points. And you have to find a way to stay in the game. because of everybody pointing to the defense. And I forgot to mention the Chargers too, because that was a shootout. And what gave me PTSD is that I saw some things, and I think I said in some videos where I saw a difference in this organization compared to previous organizations. Brad Holmes. I mean, there's some things you might want to question, but in general, he looks like a competent GM. Dan Campbell looks like a competent coach. The style kind of shaky, but look like a competent coach. And then, Ben Johnson, and everybody's, touting him as a genius. And, AG's AG goes in and out and up and down with the way people talks about him. But, in general, the staff is touted as a great coaching staff overall. And so, you look at these things like, oh, okay, it looks like they putting together something. And in the future, it may all come together. But as of now, we're dealing with now right now. And in the future, like I said, it may come together. So now you look at these things, and I'm like, and I started watching when I was watching the Barry's documentary, I started thinking about this team. I started thinking about how they start getting hyped. And I'm starting to let go of that same old Lions kind of thing. I'm throwing that off me. I'm not using that no more. This ain't the same line. This team look different. I'm trying to get rid of that. I'm throwing it off here. And when people talk about, no, this ain't, this team is different. This team is different. This team is different. And then I look at what's happened these last couple games. I'm like, oh, they set me up. They set me up. They set me up. And you start to feel that way. Now, will I admit that I feel like this is totally different than the rest? Like I said earlier, yes, I think it's totally different than what they had in the past, as far as the competency of the organization. I think a lot of what happened with the Lions back then was the incompetent organization. For letting a lot of people go. I mean, you let Benny Bates go, Ray Crockett, Lomas Brown, Kevin Glover. That was your backbone. Chris Spielman, backbone of your team. Instead of just going ahead and pay them, it's like you wanted to try to get cheap product on the field. You wanted to play. You wanted to have a blockbuster movie, and then you put it on Tubi. That's what you know. What I'm saying, it's like, come on, you had to pay. Now, Brad Holmes seems to be a wizard of how you do contracts. And if it's working, it's working. I hope it works. I hope it continue to work. But at the same time, payday is coming. Payday is coming. And, you hope that they work this out, and you're not saying, oh, my God, here we go again. We're putting together at least a good nucleus. There's some issues there. So when you get in the comments, I recognize there's some issues there. Don't come with your comments. I understand. There are some issues there. But in general, you're putting together a young nucleus, and when the time to come to pay them, you don't want to see all those go out the door like the past regime did. You want to see them stay together and build around it. And that's what I'm hoping. And I'm gonna get to the Saints game. I'm gonna get out your way. But I just had to get that out. I was just like, oh my God, this is looking like PTSD. This is looking like the Lions are setting me up for a fall. And then we have to decide as fans, what is a successful season? A playoff win? Um, uh, a division title? Or make it all the way to the Super Bowl and or a Super Bowl win? Now, putting that in perspective. Because we'll say, oh, Super Bowl. I mean, compared to what they came from to what they have now and what they had in the past, what is a successful season in the proper perspective? I want you to get in the comments about that one. I'm not even gonna say what I think it is. I'm interested to hear what people has to say about this. What is a successful season put in this proper perspective? Because we'll say Super Bowl or Super Bowl win, Super Bowl victory. Is that proper? Is that a proper perspective compared to where they came from? Is it? I mean, you went from what 1-16 to next season 9-8 to this season. Who knows what they're gonna be because the way you're playing, I don't know. Possibly win 12. They should win 12, at least 12 games. Shit. I mean, they're at 9 now. I think they'll win at least 3 more. You know, at least 3 more. So they should win at least 12 games. So that's an improvement right there. And if the trajectory is steady going up, is this not a success story or a successful season or a successful organization that they're putting together? You know, are we just too anxious as fans and want that now because we haven't seen it in a long time? I don't know. I just want to have a talk with you. Get in the comments. Let me know. Get into the Saints game. And this is what's kind of part of the PTSD scary part. And I'm putting this in perspective of the last 3 games. In that perspective, in that lens, that's what I'm looking through. Once again, no pressure from the line. You got a couple sacks. And let me say this first before I go more into what I'm about to say. I had to work today. So I seen most of the game through highlights and other podcasts. So if I get something wrong, feel free to correct me. So I saw it through highlights and other podcasts. So I want to get that out because I know some people get in the comments, oh, well, you must not have been watching the game. And I'm saying you are correct, sir or ma'am. I was not. I saw it through highlights and other podcasts. Now, let's get back to it. Now, you have 21 points. 21 points. How are you fighting to hold on to the game by the 4th quarter? No pressure. I know. I think Bruce Irvin got a sack and Romo Core got a sack, but you wasn't getting no steady pressure or no one's under duress. Still having trouble with running quarterback. Taysom Hill was running. Alvin Kamara was running. Now, it's Alvin Kamara. He runs. He gets that on a lot of teams. I understand that, but we shut down B. John Robinson when he was supposed to have been, a beast. We shut down a couple other teams who's escaping right now this year against the run. We're looking good against the run. Against the Chargers, shut down their running game. So we've done it. It's just like it seems, and this could be because like I said, I'm looking through the lens of 3 games that we're getting worse and worse when it comes to the defense. Do we have all our players? No, but there's a lot of teams don't have all their players, so that's not an excuse. You have to be the first man up. Do what you got to do to get it done. Change the scheme according to the personnel. That's what you have to do. Okay, you don't have this. Rush with some linebackers. Change the scheme according to the personnel. That's what good coaches do. That's what great coaches do. Let me say that. That's what elite coaches do. Change the way you do things. Offense. Hey, Jared Goff, been making a lot of mistakes the last couple games. We're gonna say, oh, he's under duress, and that is a part of the game. Here's where the lack of mobility kicks in. It's a couple of times he's under duress, but the hole opened up wide. If he's able to scramble, he gets 10 yards or more easily in a couple of those games. Now the defense has to account for that. Now they have to adjust for that. So now here comes the play action. Here comes the seam route. All those things open up because now they have to account for you being able to scramble. So that's another weakness. Now, am I calling for Jared Goff to be gone, fired? Well, not fired, but traded or whatever? No. I mean, you don't have any other alternatives. None. Everybody, Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker may be the future down the line. I like the fact that we have Hendon Hooker and you can develop him. But that doesn't mean he's the answer right now. Jared Goff right now is your best bet. So now you have to work with what you have. I'm a firm believer in that. Work at what you have. Here's what I have. Here, you talk about Hutch. Well, Hutch ain't his win rate is low, and Hutch is not getting sacks. All that he's getting double teamed. Whatever you want to say. Change the way you use them. Use your team to the best of your ability. If you rush the linebackers, you know what I'm saying? That you getting pressure. Maybe let Hutch drop back. He got a couple of interceptions. Tall guys, hard for the quarterback to do. Use what you have to your advantage. That's all I'm saying. But what they did today, and compared to the last 3 games, yes, it's a W. And it goes in the W column. And I'm happy because the W. And gets you close to that goal to get into the playoffs and possibly home field playoffs. That's good. I'm happy. It's a W. But as you go further on this journey, the roads get rougher. The road looks like San Francisco. The road may look like a Philadelphia. How do you beat those teams with those mistakes? You think Jared Goff don't get no pressure from Philly? You think Jared Goff don't get no pressure from San Francisco? He's gonna get pressure. You gotta saying he's getting pressure, and that's the reason why he's fumbled, and the reason why he's throwing the ball in the dirt, and the reason why that's no excuse. And I'm a fan. I am a fan. Love this team. Love this team. Anybody know I rep Lions gear all the time and have to deal with the ridicule. Well, not as much as we did back in the day, but had to deal with a lot of ridicule for wearing Lions gear. And guess what? I still wore it because I support and loyal to my team. However, it doesn't mean they're above criticism. They're not above criticism. And, it's good to be enthusiastic. It's good to support. It's good. I like that. Support them. Be enthusiastic about what they're doing. That is great. But be realistic with your excitement. That's all I'm saying. Be realistic with your excitement. Does it mean my opinion is 100% right? No. But it is an opinion that will criticize when I think it needs to be done. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you just need to look at it objective, sit back. Give it the smell test. Give it a taste test. Give it the eye test, ear test, and see does it measure up. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. If it do, you give them a. If it don't, then you give your opinion about it. Doesn't mean it's hate. Because you get people in the comments, why are you hating? Why are you hating? It's not hate, it's criticism. Criticism is good. Criticism builds character. And then hopefully we get everybody back. Houston never came back. CD Deuce hasn't came back. So hopefully we get them back for the playoffs. You look even better. You got some bright spots. So I'm not totally down the team. We just need to be better and better. Why be satisfied with a mediocre product? And what I mean by that, if you have the potential to be better, because the potential is there for them to be better. Look at the bright spots you have. You add a few more pieces. This is an elite team. And not just a good team, an elite team. I believe that. So why should I settle for crumbs when I want the whole cake? But anyway, it's going into 19 minutes. Let me get up out your way. I said I don't want to go make it too long. So I wanted to add some more stuff on it. But anyway, if you have not do it, get down, go over to YouTube and like, share, subscribe, hit that like button. Bing! Hit the subscribe button. Bang! Subscribe to everything we put out. For instance, we go live every Monday and Thursday, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about everything concerning sports. If you like underwater basket weaving, we talking about it. You like you like basketball, we talking about it. Baseball, we on that. Hockey, we got some of that. College too. I'll have to make a video about that. But college football, getting ready to go into the playoffs, we talking about it. And if you just want to just talk about just Lions football, well, you go over to that same channel and you'll see No Name Podcast. Just click on that and you can watch some videos on the Lions. Hey, if you may be in the Kansas City area or you just like the Kansas City Chiefs, we got Wildcard Chief on Mr. Wildcard Mar. He does a Wildcard Chief page. Then we got the big homie Nick Shine, who's doing great with his channel. Check him out, Pryo Jet fan out of New Jersey. Also, we got some other things that we cooking up, trying to get the radio station back up and running. Getting ready to try to do some live shows, hopefully in next year. Once the year turn around, and trying to get some things going with that. Got another podcast we're gonna start called Storylines is going to deal with a lot of storylines throughout the sports, which event is going to be the precursor to having our own 30 by 30, hopefully. So that's a lot of things we're doing. So we're doing big things over here, at least trying to do big things. So you can help. And how can you help? Hit that like and subscribe button, share with a friend, share with the enemy, but above all, just share so we can grow together as an organization, as a sports fan. Until next time. Peace.